personally would liken Chair Gensler's approach to my son Sam's approach. He's 2 when it comes to toys. He wants to hold all the toys, but he doesn't want anyone else to be able to play with the toys at the same time.
Most people outside the United States don't really care that the SEC is suing us. I was in the Middle East last fall, and we were meeting with customers. It's really early in the morning. My time zones are all screwed up. We're meeting with the CEO of a payments company. The employee from Team Ripple says, well, why don't you give an update on what's going on at Ripple? And I start talking about the SEC. And after the meeting, he very delicately says to me, no one gives a shit.
It is anticipated that the case involving the United States Securities and Exchange Commission SEC and blockchain startup Ripple would be postponed for a month. But during the past 24 hours, the value of XRP phase increased. According to Fox Business reporter Eleanor Terrett, the dispute involving the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission and Ripple will be delayed 1 month. The Omicron variant's quick proliferation is to blame for the delay. Terrett was informed by a person with knowledge of the situation that the motion would be submitted to the court soon, when the SEC accused Ripple of establishing and issuing unregistered securities as XRP tokens. The two parties have been involved in litigation. The business was charged by the SEC with selling XRP coins worth $1.3 billion illegally. The defendants in this lawsuit are Ripple, the CEO and co-founder of the business, Brad Garlinghouse, and Chris Larson. Garlinghouse stated in November that he thinks the SEC will be finished this year since Ripple is moving forward well. At the time, he stated, "We're seeing pretty good progress despite a slow-moving judicial process." Ripple disagreed with the SEC fair notice defense earlier this week, after the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission noted the out-of-circuit ruling in the Ripple case. The Fife case is not relevant to the sex accusations against Ripple, according to the company's attorneys, who also argued against using the word investment contract. The dispute between Ripple Labs and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, according to attorney and cryptocurrency legal expert Jeremy Hogan, may have reached its worst-case scenario. The attorney informs his Twitter followers that the SEC request for a new court scheduling delay will probably prolong the matter well into next year. Attorney Filan recently provided a timetable that is the exact worst. Centenario. In 2023, the Ripple lawsuit will continue. Never in my life have I seen a plaintiff want to drag out a case so much. Only defendants typically cause delays. Why file a lawsuit only to delay receiving the justice you seek? Hogan compares the SEC's legal action against Ripple to its legal action against the decentralized video hosting service, pointing out the difference between the two, both the date they were filed and the anticipated completion date. In comparison, take a look at the case calendar for SEC. The lawsuit will be resolved 6 months sooner than the Ripple litigation, because it was filed 3 months after it. The Ripple situation is bizarrely backward in every way. Ripple and the SEC simultaneously filed to push closing papers back to a few days before Christmas and opening briefs for summary judgment and expert challenges until August. According to Filan, Ripple Labs' decision to accept the postponement may have been a wise one to eventually set a deadline. The reason Ripple accepted this schedule is being questioned by many people. My instinct says there was a compromise, a longer briefing schedule, but no longer applying Rule 56 pre-motion procedure. If Ripple had refused, there would have been additional scheduling disagreements that, in my opinion, would have consumed much more time. And if the past is any indication, Ripple would have lost that battle. By 2023, the motion schedule would have been significantly behind schedule. Locking up this schedule was, in my opinion, a very wise decision by Ripple. The institutions that we all despise the most are on the verge of taking over the cryptocurrency world. Yes, that's right. Big financial institutions like BlackRock and the financial industry's whales have prepared cryptocurrencies for a takeover. Why, you ask? Because when cryptocurrencies first started to take off, these institutions didn't believe in them and were left out. However, they are now moving in quickly because if you have stablecoins in your wallet, now is the ideal time to sell them before they go to zero. Hold up, wait. Do they really have any restrictions not to print money? If that's the case, they may as well print $1 billion overnight out of thin air, right guys? The phrase stable seems to be frequently utilized. As I previously stated, here's a fascinating tweet from Watcher Guru that loosely refers to fraud in the cryptocurrency world. It was recently posted in Citadel Fidelity. Chuck Schwab Tether keeps producing money without any limitations. I can't warn you enough, especially when it comes to cryptocurrencies that claim to be backed by the dollar. but are not. It was recently posted in Citadel Fidelity. Chuck Schwab, newly launched cryptocurrency exchange platform EDX Marcus Anders, retweeted this and said, "Open your eyes, guys. This shows that these huge, and this is just a game plan to take out the competitors from the MAO." The SEC has filed lawsuits against the two largest cryptocurrency exchanges. And now we see a wave of legacy financial institutions launching crypto services like custody and exchanges. The current suppression of the cryptocurrency market indicates that a major shift is underway, and that implies that we might see changes in cryptocurrency exchanges and some of the dominant cryptos, but if you pay close attention, you'll realize that XRP has been the best option. XRP has connections with BlackRock, but is one of the other dominant exchanges in this market. Like I said earlier, the SEC is priming crypto for takeover by the big companies, which will happen right before our eyes. Update for Twilight Zone. For the measured non-logarithmic formation, the desired range is 0.75 cents. The measurement of the logarithmic formation of the desired amount is between 1 and $1.20. The full send breakout of the symmetrical triangle approximate target is 5.50 is the target. Here's an examination of XRP behavior towards the final wake-up. Here's an examination of XRP behavior towards the final wake-up line across multiple time periods. Just reviewing what I shared on June 5th. The 3 and 1 day potential retest candles above it. Let's monitor the market while taking into account all the relevant elements as XRP army remains stable. We have all been duped into believing that no one can control the new system. But if large corporations can control crypto, why is it so difficult for the general public to believe that they are actually bringing this world to a standstill in order to seize control? On the other hand, XRP has been subject to excessive suppression and may be the most promising cryptocurrency if the SEC drops its charges and XRP finally receives regulatory clarity this year. BlackRock Fortress, if you were worried that a crypto collapse is imminent, be sure that those outs are long gone because major names and other well-known companies have all started digging deep into their pockets and entering the space since last week. Banks are attempting to take control of this market, which indicates that they have recognized its potential. Unfortunately, this has come at the expense of cryptos like XRP. Imagine being benched for 2 years while earning millions of dollars every day. That's such a sizable loss. Observe profit increases of about 200% in less than 24 hours after the SEC dropped its complaint against them. In this situation, an extension of the discovery timeline would be extremely detrimental to Ripple. The examples of ongoing discovery problems at the SEC sites are largely attributable to its own mysterious delays in serving document requests, and it does not and cannot argue that it will not be possible to complete discovery on the existing schedule despite reasonable diligence, according to Ripple's lawyers. Moreover, the SEC has not met its burden of demonstrating that there is good cause to extend the schedule. Earlier, the SEC requested a 60-day extension of the dates for discovery, the procedure by which opposing parties to a dispute seek or attempt to withhold information from one another. What do you think? Please share your opinions in the comments section below. As always, trade responsibly